Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Paul, the Canadian Snowman, back once again to learn about a new country. And the country that's up is Djibouti, 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 Djibouti. Uh, I'm sorry. I really do apologize though if I pronounced it wrong, which most likely I did. But I'm sure Paul here, the other Paul from Geography Now, is going to correct me. And he's also going to teach us, or teach me, about your country. Because, to be quite honest, I have no idea where you guys are located. So, this is your time to shine, guys. Your time to rock and roll. And let's see what you guys have in store for me. Because, trying to think where, I don't know. I don't want to say where I think it's located and people get offended. So, we're just going to jump into this. And before I do, please like and subscribe, guys. Please and thank you. And let's just jump into this, guys. Dun, dun, dun. What am I doing?
Look, I get it. The puns kind of write themselves for this one. But seriously, you'll be mesmerized and want to explore all over once you get a good look at Djibouti.
It's time to learn geography now!
Hey everyone, I'm your host Barbie. Welcome to the place that hopes to become the Dubai of East Africa. Now those are some strong claims to make. Let's see what's going on in Djibouti.
Do it.
Although small, Djibouti is what you would call a geostrategic country in which the entire domain is wrapped around one of the most economically significant regions on the planet and capitalizes off of it. Djibouti is located on the Horn of Africa, bordered by Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Somalia, right across the Gulf of Aden from Yemen on the Arabian Peninsula. Djibouti is one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world, right at the mouth where the Indian Ocean and Red Sea meet at the Bab al-Mandab Strait. This is what puts Djibouti in such an advantageous geoeconomic position. The country is divided into 6 regions, and the straightforwardly named capital, Djibouti City, rests on the coast of the southern eastern tip of the Gulf. Djibouti City, nicknamed the City of Seven Masks, in itself hosts about 70% of the entire country's population. I mean, if you look at a satellite image at night, it kind of looks like this. The entire country surrounds the Gulf of Tajura, which plays probably the most important lifeline role in the country's makeup. Djibouti lays claim to the uninhabited, disputed Dumera and Khalida Islands with Eritrea, and the Ka'adabali Islands off the coast of the Obak region, as well as the Il Musha and Mascali Islands right at the entrance of the Tajura Gulf, and also small islands inland like the Ile du Diable, or Demon Island. It's called that way because it's always foggy there, and it's said that the people who go there never quite exactly come back the same. Now here's the thing for Djibouti. It's all about location, location, location.
Okay, you can't just move on just like that. Okay, if you live there, there's a chance you might be watching this video because you want to see what like a foreigner thinks of your country. Have you ever been to that island? Is this just like one of those urban legend deals, where maybe one person came back, I don't know, they went crazy or something, and now that's kind of like a thing now? And the rest of the island, they didn't say, like, if they're inhabited, like, can you live on those other islands, or are there just pretty much just nobody lives there? Interesting. But yeah, definitely a geographical spot. Seems like perfect. Like, you have that nice, bay. It's like giant bay, not a bay, but it's a giant bay there in the middle, and then like I said, you're right there, So, anyways, let's continue.
Quite exactly come back the same. Now here's the thing for Djibouti. It's all about location, location, location. The landscape may be a little harsh and desolate, but if you can build a base here, you have access to an intercontinental network and gateway that opens up a world of opportunity and security. Djibouti hosts a wide range of military contingents from other countries off their land, such as France, Japan, and the only permanent US base in Africa as well. In return, this creates an income stream for the national treasury and allows a somewhat steady economic growth for Djibouti. The country as a whole acts as a major transit hub for refueling and transporting goods coming into the area, especially for Ethiopia, as they can't really use Eritrea much because, yeah, In a nutshell, the entire country used to be under French rule as French Somaliland, and then later as the territories of French Afar and Isa until they finally got their independence in 1977. The funny thing is, unlike
Okay.
Somalia and Eritrea, Djibouti has a much higher political stability and general welfare index as they try to stay neutral or uninvolved in international conflict, unless encroached upon. This means that unlike other areas, Djibouti has had some time to actually work on development projects like building a railway to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, or 2 new airports. Not everyone will agree, but some
Wow.
Djiboutians believe that with all the escalating new international investment, they're hoping to become the Dubai of the Horn of Africa. And who knows if they will? I mean, they already got on the world radar without oil. Can you imagine what would happen if they discovered oil reserves? I mean, no, back up! Back up! Back up! That was actually kind of fun. Okay, landscape time.
Okay, I said Djibouti. I asked you not to disappoint, and you haven't. Like apparently, it's like a great place to live. That you guys are thriving there, and there's no. You haven't got to it yet, but like there's no like doesn't seem like there's like a warlord there. Someone bringing it down and a bunch of civil war going on. Which obviously with that going on, there's like no, you're not going to improve your country, and it's just going to go downhill. But obviously. So from what I've seen, none of that's going on, and you guys just got it going on. But we haven't reached, the political stuff yet. So that might change. Fingers crossed. But here we go.
So once again, Djibouti may be small, but it definitely doesn't lack in its quirks in land makeup. The country is precariously positioned right near the tri-point border between the Somali, Arabian, and African plates that further split down into the East African Rift. This puts Djibouti in a hot seat of geothermal locations. Mount Ardukoba being an active volcano that last erupted in 1978. Generally, the land is dry and arid with some, but not a lot of vegetation. Because of fresh water scarcity, the agriculture sector is kind of limited and restricted with only a few crops like tomatoes and date palms that can be grown, as only about 4% of the land is arable. There are only 2 permanent aquatic bodies of water in the country, Lake Abe on the border with Ethiopia, and Lake Assal, also known as the lowest point in Africa. However, these 2 are salt lakes,
Really?
Assal being the second saltiest lake in the world after Don Juan Lake in Antarctica, and henceforth cannot be used for irrigation. But you know how they do it in Africa. Okay. What do we do now?
Let's start selling salt.
Yeah! If you visit Djibouti, definitely check this place out. Lake Abe, one of the strangest places on Earth, has an almost lunar landscape with a limestone chimney forest that looks like needles going up 50 meters protruding from the ground, as the entire area is surrounded by bubbling hot springs. The country only experiences 2 distinct seasons, the damp, windy season between October and April, and the burning wind season between June and August, the hottest part of the year in which temperatures can get past 50 degrees Celsius. Rain is strange because it doesn't really follow any specific season. It can kind of just come and go whenever it pleases throughout the year. It's kind of like playing the lottery. Who will get rain today?
All right, I won!
Overall, Djibouti may be a little low on the resource side, but incredibly high on the service side of the economy. Now let's see how that works out. Djibouti is kind of like that quiet little kid in class that doesn't really start any problems but is working on a project that will probably win the science fair and gain attention of every major college. The country has a little over 800,000 people and is dominated by the 2 main ethnic groups, the Isa at around 60% and the Afar at around 35%. The remainder of the country is made up of small groups of Arabs, French, Ethiopians, and even Italian people. Also keep in mind, the military-based personnel, although not citizens, do make a noticeable presence in everyday society in Djibouti as well. The Isa people, which can be found more in the southern regions of the country, are also sometimes referred to as just Somalians, as they are a sub-clan of the Somali people and speak their own dialect of the Somali language. The Afar people, although slightly more distinct, have a very similar culture and language that resembles the Isa people. These 2 groups pretty much get along, and especially since the majority of them share the same religion, Islam. About 93% of the country is Muslim, adhering to the Sunni branch of the Shafti school of jurisprudence legal tradition. The remainder of the country is predominantly Christian. You can even find some churches in Djibouti city. Most are Ethiopian Orthodox. The country is generally tolerant of any religion, but still restricts proselytizing towards Muslims. The official languages of the country are French and Arabic. However, French is sometimes used more, as Djibouti was once a French territory, and they didn't even get their independence until 1977, because you know how France is.
Okay, seriously, bro. Every other European country is doing it. Just give it up.
No, these are my territories. I'm not letting go.
Culture-wise, Djiboutians are
So you guys are really basically a very new country. So why did they eventually let go? Like, was there maybe going to be like a revolution there? and France is like, ah, man, it's not worth it. Fine, have your independence. So I always wonder how like that ever comes to be, kind of thing. By the way, you got some really cool rock formations. It'd be cool, like shoot a movie there or something.
Doing it, just give it up.
No, these are my territories. I'm not letting go.
Culture-wise, Djiboutians are known for being quite peaceful but very talkative. They will have no problem spending hours bargaining with a vendor or just sitting you down for a casual 5-hour chat. Although still classified as a developing country with a high unemployment rate at over 50%, the country has been steadily taking measures to alleviate the problem by instituting a wide range of domestic policies. About a fifth of the national budget goes to education alone, and in the past few years, the GDP rate has increased every year, and today sits at a steady and comfortable 6.5%. Buildings are popping up fast, and the new and improved Djibouti-Addis Ababa railway is currently being constructed between them and Ethiopia, costing over $4 billion in foreign investment.
Wow.
Because of the interaction with all the military-based personnel, Djiboutians are generally more in the loop when it comes to international affairs. This is also why Djibouti typically holds a very neutral stance when it comes to international drama, although Eritrea knows how to kind of push their buttons. Which brings us to... Once again, Djibouti may be small, but everyone seems to be staring at it. No, seriously though, the position of the country is so advantageous that people from all over the world have kept Djibouti on the radar. Jesus, like I'm not even trying and it just comes out. First of all, Djibouti hosts military bases for the US, France, and Japan, and is currently in the process of building another base for China. Therefore, by default, these countries kind of have a tight sense of diplomacy with Djibouti and offer a source of aid and revenue. The funny thing is, Russian Cossacks turned to this land way before any Western power back at the end of the 19th century, and they even built an unofficial colony that was eventually driven out partially by the French and partially ended by royal order. To this day, however, Russia still holds close ties, and even some of the streets are named after Russian locations. Somalia is kind of like the embarrassing bigger brother that they kind of feel obligated to love, but would rather not get involved with his controversial escapades. Their best friend, however, would have to be Ethiopia. Ethiopia...
Yeah, good for you to kind of say stay away or whatever. Like, I'm sorry if you're from Somalia. All I've heard, I guess, really is kind of like bad stuff, like pirates and stuff like that. So, but anyways, on to more Djibouti. So you guys just got it going on. It's like, everyone wants a piece of you guys. You're like, well, if you guys want to help us, come on in, The Cossack. I always find that cool when something gets brought up from like a different video, and Russia Cossacks. If you've been following my Napoleon series and Russia series, you know what I mean.
Involved with his controversial escapades. Their best friend, however, would have to be Ethiopia. Ethiopia works very well with Djibouti, and almost all of their international imports and exports go directly through the port of Djibouti in Djibouti City. Djibouti provides them with sea access, and in return, Ethiopia gives them food and electricity. It's a beautiful symbiotic relationship. In conclusion, Djibouti on the surface seems quite dry and desolate, but once you see how they operate their country, you'll kind of start to understand why everyone wants a piece of Djibouti. Stay tuned. Dominica, yes, that's how you pronounce it, is coming up.
All right. Well, Djibouti, you definitely impressed me. You did your job. I like you. And yeah, I guess it seemed like just a well-established, sky's the limit, country for you guys. So keep up the good work, keep building. I don't know, the railway might be done by now by the time this was released, so maybe you guys have your railway done. And I've never heard anything bad about Ethiopia, so seems like a great partner and great friend to have. And so yeah, pretty cool. But thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you liked this video, and I hope you continue on the journey, through the entire alphabet, alphabetical order, remember, guys. So anyways, I'll get to your country eventually if you're low on the alphabet list. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe, guys. Please and thank you. And I'll catch you guys in future videos. And out.